Okay, everybody, welcome back. Pray be to the Lord. We're going to continue with a math class and the topic of um, use equivalent fractions to add and subtract fractions. But the first thing I have to know if you understand about the last class about what is a fraction. Remember, a fraction is divided in two, in a numerator and a denominator. The denominator is the whole part of things, so a whole unit, okay? And the numerator is the division of how many parts you're going to divide the whole number. Okay, but we are going to continue and we understand what we saw about what is how the fraction can be less than or bigger than or more than another fraction. We already understand that. Sorry, but now we're going to see what is an equivalent fraction. These topics about the fraction, about what is a fraction and equivalent fractions, you already saw it, I think, in fourth grade. Okay, I think you saw it in fourth grade. But this is only a review. What is a fraction? What is the numerator? What is the denominator? And we're going to see right now what is an equivalent fraction. So I will share with you a video that explains what is an equivalent fraction. So please pay attention and take notes.
Welcome to 5th grade math with Mr. J. In this video, I'm going to be covering equivalent fractions. And equivalent fractions are very important when working with adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing, or any other more complex fraction material. And equivalent fractions are also important for overall number sense for everyday life. So there's a couple rules we are going to need to follow with one main big rule that we'll get into once we start number one. But for number 1, 2, 3, and 4, those top four there, we are going to find two equivalent fractions for each two. And then 5 and 6, we will go over what we'll do for those when we get there. And after this video, this is the instructional video, the mastery check will be the exact same thing as this. You'll find two equivalent fractions for each, and then you'll have a 5 and a 6. So let's hop into number 1 here, and we have 1/2. So our main big rule for equivalent fractions is whatever you do to the numerator, you need to do to the denominator. Or whatever you do to the denominator, you need to do to the numerator. Now, if you don't know what numerator and denominator are, what those are the top number is the numerator, and the bottom number is the denominator. So whatever you do to the top, you got to do to the bottom. Or whatever you do to the bottom, you have to do to the top. And you can use multiplication or division. Now, this might be confusing as we first start off, but as we go through, I promise this will get easier and make more sense. And just like all of my other instructional videos, I highly suggest you write these out with me. So let's see 1/2 here. I can multiply those numbers by anything I want, any number in the world. And as long as I do it to both the top and the bottom, the numerator and the denominator, I will get an equivalent fraction. So let's say I'm going to multiply them both by 5. And I get 1/2 is equal to 5/10. Is 5 out of 10 the same thing as a half? Yes, those are equivalent. Or maybe I want to multiply them both by 2. And I get 2/4. Is 2/4 the same as a half? Yes, they're equivalent. So again, as long as I do the same thing to both the top and the bottom, I will get an equivalent fraction. I can use multiplication or division. Now 1/2, if I wanted to use division, there isn't anything I can divide 1 and 2 by. I can't break that down anymore, so I can't use division for that one. And as you do more of these, you will see which ones you can use division for and which ones you can't. So that's just something you will get the hang of as you do more of them. So number 2, again, whatever you do to the top, you have to do to the bottom. So I'm going to multiply both by 100. And I get 200 500ths. That is equivalent to 2/5. And how about 2/5? I will multiply them both by 3. And I will get 6/15. 6/15, 200 500ths, and 2/5 are all of equal value. They just have different names. That's what an equivalent fraction is. If you, let's pretend we have, I'm going to draw a terrible scale here. But let's say we're weighing 2 fractions on each side, and we have 2/5 over here and 200 500ths over here. They would weigh the same. I'm going to put a base on my scale there. They would weigh the same. They just have different names, but they are equivalent. We followed our rule. We multiplied or divided both the numerator and denominator by the same number. All right, let's go to number 3. We're going to use division on this one actually for our first equivalent fraction. What can 12 and 16 both be divided by? Well, they're both even, so what goes into all even numbers? I'm going to divide them both by 2 to get an equivalent fraction. 6/8. And then I will use another division one actually. Let's see who's really on the ball here. I gave it away though. 4. I can divide each of those by 4. That's a common factor or a common number that can be divided out of both 12 and 16. So 12 divided by 4 is 3. 16 divided by 4 is 4. Since I gave that one away, let's try division for 8/10. Think to yourself, what can I divide both 8 and 10 by to get an equivalent fraction? Well, they're both even. There's your hint. Hopefully you're thinking 2. I can divide both of them by 2 to get an equivalent fraction, and I get 4/5. And then let's use a multiplication. Let's multiply them both by, oops, that's a division sign. I said multiply. Multiply them both by 3, and I get 24/30. So that's how you find equivalent fractions. Follow that main rule. Use multiplication or division, and whatever you do to the top, you have to do to the bottom. So let's go to number 5 here. And we have 4 fractions. This is kind of like equivalent fraction. I spy, I guess you could say. You are finding the fraction that does not fit in the list. There are 3 that are equivalent and 1 that is not. I'll give you a hint for number 5. We want to find the one that is not equivalent to 1/2. So 2 out of 4 is a half, right? I can multiply the top and the bottom by 2 to get 2/4. 4 out of 8 is a half. I can multiply the 1 by 4 and the 2 by 4. 8 out of 20 is the one that does not fit, that is not equivalent to 1/2. So that would be your answer. 8/20 is the one that doesn't fit. So let's go to number 6, and I'll give you a hint here. We are going to look for the one that is not equivalent to 1/3. I can multiply 1 and 3 by 4 to get 4/12. So this is equal to 1/3. I can multiply 1 and 3 by 7 to get 7/21, or 7/21. I cannot do anything to 1/3 to make it equal 1/4. These are not equivalent. So 1/4 would be the one that doesn't fit there. So that's basically it for equivalent fractions. Time to time for you to try some on your own to see if you have it down. Over at the mastery check will look just like this. So I will see you over there at the mastery check where you can give this a shot. Thanks for watching.
Okay. Okay, guys. Let's see. Do you have any question about how to identify and or how to see what is an equivalent fractions? I saw Emily raise the hand. What is your question, Emily?
I don't have any questions.
You don't have any question? Oh, I saw you raise your hand. Okay, let's see, Valeria. Tell me, what is your question?
How I can find the number that I have to multiplication with the numerator and
Okay, yes.
the denominator.
That is a really good question. I will explain with some examples of how to find or how to know with which number I have to multiply or which number I have to divide. Okay, somebody else have another question? No? Okay, let's see. I will share my whiteboard, okay? And I will explain with you. Everybody can see it, right? Everybody can see it? Yes. Okay, for example, I have 2, 3, or 2/3. If I want to multiply, I can multiply with any number. For that reason, it's equivalent. When I said that is equivalent, when I made a division, I have to divide it with the same number. For example, if I come in here and I will multiply by 4, okay, each one by 4, I have 4 times 2, it's 8 over 3 times 4 is 12. If I want to divide it, I can make a division, both of them, by 2 if I want. And I have 8 divided 2, 4. And I have 12 divided 2 is 6. I don't know if you understand this. You can divide it for any number. The thing is, and the most important thing is, you are going to multiply by the same number, both the numerator and the denominator. And you are going to divide by the same number too, the numerator and the denominator. This is what we call in math simplification or amplification of the fraction. Simplification is to get to the lowest number of a fraction, and the amplification is to get the highest number in a fraction. But the most common use is simplification. I don't know. Do you have another question? Everybody understand how is or what is an equivalent fraction? Let's try to make the exercise on your book from the page number 368. Okay, from the exercise number 13 to 20. I will say if that is a division or that is a multiplication. Okay, let's see. The number one. Let's see who's writing in here. Okay, somebody said why I multiply here by 4. It doesn't matter of how many numbers you're going to multiply. Okay, I can multiply in here by 5, by 10, by 1,000. Doesn't matter. The only thing that is will matter is I have to multiply the numerator and the denominator by the same number. In this case is 4. Okay, let's see. The number one said 6 over 18. You're going to make a division in this one. And the division is by 6. So this is equal to how many? You're going to divide it by 6. How much is it? This is in your book. This is the exercise number 13. Let's see, Diego. Okay, I have in here divided by 6, and I will divide here, divide 18 by 6. 6 divide 6, 1. 6 divide, 18 divide 6, 3. Why? 6, because if I multiply these two, 6 times 1, 6. If I multiply this, 6 times 3, 18. It's clear, right? Let's try to make the second one. The second one said 12 over 22. This is a division also. Which number do you think you're going to divide this one? Which number do you think you're going to divide this one? Exactly, Dana. You're going to divide it by 2. Very good, Dana. You are going to divide it by 2. So, this is equal to, what is the answer? Huh? Yes, Diego? 6 over 11. Very good. 6 over 11. Why? Because if I multiply 2 times 6 is equal to 10. And 2 times 11, it's equal to 22. Try to make the other ones. Try to make the other ones, the 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. And we are going to check it, okay? Make the other exercises in your book, and we're going to share our answers. So please do it. I'm on page 368. Come on, people. Work, everybody. Work, Felix. Okay, nice, Diego. Guardiola. Some of them are multiplication. Some of them are multiplication and some of them are divisions. Okay? Not all of them are divisions. Some of them are multiplications, some of them are divisions, people. You have to identify which one is division and which one is multiplication. Okay, everybody finish? We're going to share our answers. Let's see. I will write it on the board. Let's see. Number 15. I have 15 over 25. We can make it in here in two ways. We can make it in division. We can make it in a multiplication. If I make it in a division, you're going to divide it by 5. So I have 3 over how many? 5. Right? If I make a division. But if I make it in a multiplication, this is equal to, I can multiply it by by 3, sorry, by 2, and I have 30 over 50. ¿Ok? Puedo hacer los dos. Puedo utilizar los dos. ¿Ok? I can divide it by 5, or I can multiply it by 2. Let's see the next one. 8 over 26. It's a division. You're going to divide it by 2. How much is it? If I'm going to divide it by 2, I have 4, 13. That's it. Let's see. Number 17. I have 14 over 35. I can divide this one by 7. So how much is it? How much is it? Is 2, 5. Is 2 over 5. Let's see the number 18. The number 18 I have 4, 18. You can make a division too. You're going to divide it by 2. How much is it? How much is it? This is equal to 2 9. Let's see the next one. I have 1/7. I have 1/7. I can multiply by 3. I can multiply by 3. So how much is it? If I can multiply by 3, this is equal to 3 over 21. Okay. And the last one, I have 4 over 11. And I can multiply this one by 10. I can multiply by 10 each one. So I have exactly 40 over 110. Okay? Okay, people. Okay, people. For the next class on Wednesday, we are going to make another exercises that it will be on the platform. It will be a peer worksheet that you are going to work. But first of all, you're going to understand how to add and how to subtract fractions, okay? And that I will going to see it on Friday, on Wednesday, okay? I will share some videos with you. So please watch the videos about how to add and how to subtract fractions, even what is the common, how to get the common denominator. Okay, guys, see you at 11:20 for grammar. See you around.